We met at a gallery opening, of all places. One of those trendy little spaces in downtown Columbus where everything smells like red wine and fresh paint, and everyone pretends to understand abstract brushstrokes. I was there with a friend from work who dragged me out because she said I needed to let my shoulders drop and stop being a blueprint zombie. My name is Laura. I'm 30 now, but that night I was 24, fresh out of grad school with a head full of design dreams and zero tolerance for small talk. I remember the exact moment Adam walked up. I was standing in front of a piece that looked like a child had spilled spaghetti sauce on a mattress, wondering if I was missing something deep. He glanced at it, tilted his head, and said, "Looks like someone's trauma met a blender." I laughed. A real laugh. Not the polite one I usually save for these kinds of events. I turned to him and said, "Glad it's not just me." He smiled and introduced himself. Adam, 24, originally from Michigan, now living in the city. We stood there for maybe 20 minutes, just riffing on the artwork before we started talking about everything else. He told me he restored vintage motorcycles in his spare time. Not for profit, just for the love of it. I told him I loved old buildings and that if I could, I'd live in every century at least once. Architect, he asked. Trying to be, I said. One brutal deadline at a time. We ended up sitting outside on the curb after the gallery closed, sharing fries from a food truck and talking until nearly 2 in the morning. I remember the way he listened, like he actually cared about what I had to say, and how he teased me gently when I got too serious. He said I had a stormy brain, and he liked that. Our first real date was 3 days later. A tiny, hole-in-the-wall diner off 3rd Street where he insisted on ordering me a chocolate milkshake because you can't take life too seriously with whipped cream on your lip. After that came late-night city walks, greasy breakfasts after staying up too late, and spontaneous road trips just to chase autumn leaves or find the best pie in a 100-mile radius. A year later, we moved into a loft together. I brought plants and old maps. He brought tools, records, and a stained glass lamp shaped like a parrot. Somehow it worked. We were opposites, but not in that oil and water way. More like steel and fire. He softened my edges, and I kept him grounded. Back then, I thought I had found it, the kind of love that makes you feel chosen. I didn't see the cracks, not yet. To me, Adam was perfect, or at least perfect for me. Funny how memory works. You can remember the smell of someone's leather jacket more clearly than the moment you stopped trusting them. It was a Thursday. I'd gotten off early from a client meeting and figured I could surprise Adam with takeout from that Indian place he liked. The loft was quiet when I pulled up. A thin cardboard box sat on the doorstep, plain brown with a blue ribbon slapped across the top like an afterthought. The label read, "To the boldest groom-to-be." I carried it inside with the bags of food, thinking maybe it was a gag gift from one of his cousins or something. I wasn't suspicious, just mildly curious. Adam's friends were always pulling pranks on each other. I figured it was something like that. I opened the note first. It was scrawled in Vince's chicken scratch handwriting. "You earned every moment of the madness. Long live the king of the night. V." I smiled a little. It felt obnoxious, but harmless. Typical Vince. Always loud, always over the top. I unwrapped the box, expecting maybe a goofy tie or a bottle of cheap whiskey. Instead, the first thing I saw was a plastic crown, gold, fake jewels, the kind you'd buy at a party store. Beneath that, loose silver confetti, a rubber mustache on a stick, and a crumpled sash that read, "Kiss me. I'm the groom." Then I saw the earring. One single silver hoop, small and delicate. Not mine. I picked it up, turning it between my fingers. A pit opened in my stomach. I had never seen it before, but something about it felt personal. Intimate. Like it didn't belong in a joke box. At the bottom of the package was a USB drive. I stared at it for a long time. Part of me didn't want to know. I could have thrown it away and gone on pretending, just let it all slide. But I plugged it into my laptop, hands shaking. The folder opened instantly. King Weekend, Vegas. The video was raw footage. Shaky camera, loud voices, neon lights. Vince's voice narrating. "Let's get this man a night he won't forget." It started out dumb. Shots, drinking games, someone fake crying in a hot tub. Then it turned. The camera caught Adam pressed against a woman at the bar, her hand on his chest. Then kissing her. Then another woman. Then more laughing. More drinks. The group yelling, "One last ride, man. One last ride." And finally, Adam disappearing into a hotel suite with 2 women, shirt half unbuttoned, Vince shouting legend behind him. The video cut off there. I stared at the screen, heart racing like I'd just run through traffic. My skin felt too tight. My hands were cold. I kept replaying it in my head. Not the kissing, not the bedroom, but his face, smiling, completely unbothered. Like I didn't even exist. I sat there for what felt like an hour, the takeout growing cold beside me. The man I was supposed to marry had cheated on me, not in some private moment of regret, but in a wild, laughing celebration, cheered on by his best friend. And someone had thought it would be funny to send it to him like a trophy. I looked at the crown on the table. Then I shoved the whole box in the trash. Adam came home humming. He tossed his keys in the bowl by the door, kissed the top of my head like nothing had happened, and launched into a speech about table linens. I stood in the kitchen, nodding at the right moments, pretending I was still there. In reality, I was barely breathing. Hey, so Vince says the burgundy napkins look like dried blood. Adam laughed, grabbing a soda from the fridge. I told him we're not doing a zombie theme, but he's convinced it'll ruin the vibe. I stared at him. The man who had kissed strangers while his friends shouted like they were at a circus, who had stumbled into a hotel suite with 2 women and laughed while doing it. Now he was fussing over napkins. My body moved on autopilot. I asked if he wanted dinner. He said he'd already eaten. I said I was tired. He kissed my cheek again. That night, I lay beside him in bed while he scrolled through his phone, showing me Instagram reels of motorcycles with sidecars. I smiled, or at least my mouth did. He drifted off like he always did, quick, unbothered, one arm slung across my waist. I stared at the ceiling until the sky started to change. At 5 a.m., I slid out from under his arm and didn't look back. I didn't touch the dresser. I didn't grab my sketchbooks. I didn't even take my favorite jacket. Just a backpack with my laptop, charger, wallet, passport, and one hoodie. I left the ring on the coffee table. It looked ridiculous lying there alone, like it belonged to someone else. By 6, I was sitting in my car, engine running. I called the venue and canceled. The woman on the phone gasped about the deposit. I told her it was fine. Just take it. I didn't leave a note. I drove 2 hours north to a place I'd found on a travel blog years ago, an old lakeside and tucked between woods and silence. I booked a room for a week and turned off my phone. The first call from Adam came just before I crossed county lines. I didn't answer. The second came before noon. The third by sunset. I never said a word. He didn't deserve one. Some things don't need explanations. They just need to end. Quietly and completely. By day 3 at the inn, I stopped jumping at every sound. My phone was still off. I wasn't ready to hear Adam's voice. Not begging, not yelling, not explaining. But I kept thinking about Vince. His voice had been the loudest in that video. Not Adam's. Not the women's. Vince. Laughing, egging them on. One last ride. Man, make it count. That line stuck in my head like a splinter. So I got a burner number and texted him. Hey, can we talk? It's about Adam. Just want to clear some things up. He replied within 2 minutes. Sure thing. Pick the place. But if you're about to curse me out, at least let me order a drink first. We met at a sports bar off I-70. Loud TVs, sticky tables, crowded with people too distracted to care what we were talking about. Perfect. He walked in wearing aviators, indoors, and a backward cap like he was still 21. When he saw me, he smirked. Damn, I wasn't sure you'd actually show. I didn't smile back. You said you wanted a drink. You've got 5 minutes. He ordered a beer. I didn't touch the water I'd been nursing. I slid my phone across the table, screen up, video paused mid-frame. Vince, laughing, Adam with his arms around 2 women, the hotel door swinging open. His eyes flicked to it, then back to me. I pressed play. No sound at first, just a shaky view of Vegas lights. Then Vince's voice, loud, unmistakable. One last ride, man. Make it count. When the clip ended, I said nothing. Just waited. Vince leaned back, arms crossed. Okay, look, it was a party. That's all it was. Guys do stupid crap at bachelor weekends. Doesn't mean he doesn't love you. I stared at him. You think love and cheating can live in the same room? He shrugged. I mean, context matters. We were celebrating. It was. Celebrating what? I snapped. The fact that he had someone at home who trusted him? The wedding he was supposed to be planning? That kind of celebration? He blinked, like he hadn't expected me to push back. I saw your face in that video, I said. You weren't just watching, you were running the show. And now you want to act like it's no big deal? It wasn't personal, he said, sounding almost bored now. It was tradition. I leaned in, voice steady. You helped him burn it all down, Vince. Don't expect me to stay quiet about it. He chuckled nervously. Come on. You're not really gonna go scorched earth, are you? I stood up. Watch me. As I walked out, I could feel his eyes on me. Maybe surprised, maybe worried. I didn't care. He wasn't just the best man. He was the kindling. And I wasn't done yet. I didn't tell them I was coming. Evelyn opened the door wearing pearls and a wide smile, the kind reserved for country club luncheons and holiday cards. Laura. Oh, sweetheart. We were just going over rehearsal dinner details. You look thin, are you eating? I nodded once. Can I come in? Of course, she said, stepping aside. Adam's not here right now, but I've been dying to talk about the centerpieces. Inside, their house was spotless as ever. Fresh lilies on the counter. Classical music playing low. I could already hear Charles in the dining room, probably polishing a second glass of Merlot. He looked up as I walked in. Well, there she is. The bride-to-be. You had us worried. Adam said you were taking a little space. You know, nerves and all. I sat down across from them and placed the USB drive on the table. What's this? Evelyn asked. I need you to watch something, I said. It's important. Charles gave me a skeptical look, but leaned forward. Evelyn fetched her laptop. It only took 2 minutes for everything to shift. The video played. Vince's voice, Adam's face, the laughter, the women, the sweet door closing. Evelyn covered her mouth. Charles's jaw clenched. When it ended, I shut the laptop slowly. The room was silent except for the ticking wall clock. Oh my God, Evelyn whispered. This must be a mistake. No, that can't be. It's real, I said quietly. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't. Charles stood up, his voice low but firm. He disgraced himself. No son of mine behaves like that and expects to get away with it. Evelyn reached for her wine glass with trembling hands. We can't let this get out, she said. People talk, Laura. Our reputation. Your reputation? I repeated. That's what you're worried about. She looked at me, pleading. He made a mistake. But the wedding is so close, and we've already invited. There's no wedding, I said. Not anymore. Evelyn's face crumpled like paper. Charles didn't argue. He just stood there, shaking his head slowly. I stood up, voice steady. I came here to show you the truth. What you do with it is your problem now. Evelyn reached out. Please don't tell everyone. I haven't. Yet. I turned toward the door. But I won't cover for him. I left their house without another word, the silence behind me heavier than anything they could have said. Outside, the sky was gray. I walked to my car without crying, without shaking. Something in me had snapped back into place. And I wasn't done yet. The day after I left Adam's parents' house, I sent the video. Not to everyone. Just 5 people. People who knew both of us. People who mattered. People I trusted not to twist it. I didn't say much. Just attached the file, added a short message. This is why I left. I'm not looking for sympathy. Just clarity. Then I turned off notifications and waited. The first to respond was Mark. Laura, I don't even know what to say. I'm sorry. Truly. I knew he was being reckless that weekend, but I had no idea it was like that. He called an hour later. I let it go to voicemail. Hey, his voice cracked. I should have said something. I should have stopped it. We all just laughed and went along with it like it was some boys will be boys thing. I'm sorry. You deserved better. By the end of the day, 3 of Adam's closest friends had either texted me apologies or admitted they were done defending him. One even asked if I was safe, offering a place to crash if I didn't want to stay at the inn. I politely declined. Then came Vince. He didn't apologize. He didn't explain. He sent 3 texts in rapid succession. Really, Laura? You're going to drag us all down just because you're pissed? This is low. I blocked the number. Later that night, I got a call from a number I didn't recognize. I answered without thinking. Laura, it's Adam. I said nothing. I saw what you did. Sending that around. You didn't have to blow up my entire life. We could have talked. Silence. I know I messed up, okay? But it was one night. It didn't mean anything. You're really gonna ruin me over something that didn't even matter? My voice came out flat. It mattered to me. He exhaled hard, like I'd sucker punched him. I don't deserve this. You don't understand what I was going through that weekend. Try me. But he didn't. He hung up. The next day, a friend of his posted a vague, cryptic story about fake loyalty and people who turn on you the moment you're human. Another commented, some people can't take a joke. But most were silent. No tags. No defense. Just silence. Vince posted a meme about snitches and cancel culture. Mark texted again, "Ignore him. He's panicking." I didn't reply. I didn't need to. The truth was out. Not screamed, not broadcasted, just handed over, quietly, with proof. And now, the image of Adam they'd all protected was cracking. Let it all fall apart. The first I heard was from Mark. A short text, no greeting. His parents cut him off. "He's out of the townhouse. Just thought you should know." I didn't respond, but I stared at those words for a long time. A few days later, another message came, this time from someone I barely knew. A guy named Jordan who'd been at the bachelor party. Vince's drunk mouth finally caught up with him. Told the whole bar everything last weekend. Some girl filmed it. It's going around now. I searched the video. There it was, shaky, grainy, but clear enough. Vince at a party, drunk and loud, bragging about the Vegas trip like it was some war story. Laughing about Adam, calling him the dumbass who blew up his own wedding. The comments were brutal. That week, I heard Adam had lost his job. Not in a scandalous headline, but in a quiet update buried in a company's staff change memo online. His employer cited conduct concerns affecting professional reputation. By then, the calls started again. Not from numbers I recognized, but the voicemails were unmistakably him. His voice, brittle and desperate, sometimes slurred, sometimes pleading. "Laura, please. You've made your point, okay? Just talk to me." Then another. "I lost everything. My place. My job. No one's returning my calls. Even Vince bailed. Just please. I can't breathe." The last one came at 3:17 a.m. I didn't answer, but I listened. "You were the only person who ever made me feel like I wasn't just noise. I'm sorry. I don't know what to do. Please." I stared at my phone, thumb hovering over the delete icon for a long time. And then I pressed it. No reply. No message back. Nothing. Just gone. Letting go wasn't loud. It didn't come with fireworks or final words. It was quiet. A calm refusal. A deep breath. He had torched everything we had. I wasn't picking up the ashes. Not anymore. The mornings at the lake were slow and quiet, just the way I needed them. I woke up early, before the sun even touched the surface of the water, and walked the gravel path that circled the inn. The air smelled like pine and damp earth. No city noise. No phone calls. No decisions, except what I wanted for breakfast and how long I felt like sketching. I brought my old drawing pad out one morning, the thick one I hadn't touched in over a year, and started working on a design I'd shelved back when Adam proposed. A community library concept, low-tech and airy, built around natural light and recycled stone. I'd always said I'd finish it someday. Now, I had no one interrupting my someday. I filled page after page. Not just architectural renderings, little notes in the margins, color ideas, things I wanted to revisit. I didn't realize how much I'd been carrying until I started letting it out on paper. Emily called that Wednesday. One of the few friends who had always been kind but cautious, back when things with Adam still seemed picture-perfect. "I saw what happened," she said softly. "I'm so sorry. I should have trusted your instincts over his charm." I didn't say much, but hearing her voice reminded me I wasn't alone. She offered to visit. I said maybe later. For now, I just wanted quiet. By the end of the week, I had a small stack of finished concepts and a sense of stillness I hadn't felt in years. Not peace, exactly, not yet, but clarity. A space in my chest that had been blocked up for so long finally felt open. I thought about how many little signs I had ignored over the years. The nights Adam came home drunk and laughed off serious conversations, the way he dismissed anything that didn't revolve around him. I used to excuse it as spontaneity, charm, a free spirit. Now I saw it for what it was. Recklessness, disrespect, immaturity. And I wasn't going to let anyone like that stand between me and the life I wanted ever again. As I packed up my sketchbook and zipped my hoodie, I looked out at the lake one last time. I didn't know exactly what came next, but for the first time in a long while, I trusted myself to figure it out.